Your Google business profile is one of the most important factors in terms of online visibility if you're a local service-based business. So in this video, we'll break down the Google business profile checklist that you can follow exactly, so that way you can maximize your visibility and start getting more high quality leads through that. So I made a custom report. I typically don't like using the Google business profile report because it's not as flexible and you can't get as much insights for that. So we can see here for one of my clients. So this is data from year over year. So if we look at the exact reporting period, so this is December 2024, 31st to December 2025. We can see here in terms of like calls, we had an increase of 294%. And then you can also get more insights, which I broke down, which is the impressions of search and impressions map. So the difference between the two is impressions search is how did they find your Google business profile. So whether that be within Google search, so when you conduct a search, you have the map packs, then you have impressions maps. So this is anyone within like a mobile phone, and they're searching for whatever, related keyword they searched for. This would create an impression. And an impression means how many times it's been viewed based on a search. So we saw, impressions search increased by 231%. The impression maps, we saw an increase of 162. And then for website clicks, meaning how many clicks did they get specifically from the Google business profile to their website, we saw an uplift of 265%, which is insane. So here's a quick visual. So obviously within the month of like March to the end of like August, September is like their overall peak period. But again, we can see a huge uplift. Then their seasonality obviously goes down. We can see here like within the winter season, it dropped. So we're going to go through this checklist. So number one is the business name. So this is probably really one of the most important aspects in terms of ranking. So let me show you a quick example. So if I search for like plumbers near me, obviously you have the map packs here, then you have the local searches. So right now we're only focusing on the Google business profile optimization, but when you do search for this, if you noticed across these, obviously the top one is sponsored. So this is more like paid ads, but the top three have plumbing specifically within their business name. So you can see how important it is to have your core keyword within your business profile in general. So here's an example of one of my clients that I've optimized their website, created their website, and also the Google business profile. Pretty much the way I optimize it is number one, we have the brand name within here, but then I would also try to incorporate a lot of like the core services within their title. Obviously, you don't have to make it like this long as you have like your one core overall service that you provide. So, like, if you're like an electrician, you can add like electrician, business name, or if you do like HVAC, you do like business name hyphen or pipe HVAC, etc. But again, it's extremely important to have and incorporate that keyword alongside your brand, so that way you give more context to the search engines and they understand more what you do based on the search query. So again, if you don't have that keyword mentioned within there, how is Google going to understand exactly what you do? So the next most important step is adding your primary categories or any additional categories that fall in line with what services that you're offering. So again, let me give you an example breakdown of exactly how did this look like. So obviously, once you do have your business verified, you have your business name up and running, you can pretty much go into edit services. So within edit services, you can add multiple different types of business categories. If I go to add business category, you can search for any type of business, whether you're deli, whatever, or electrician, electrical engineer. You can find the most relevant preset categories that they have and try to create these business categories. So for one of my clients, what I did is I've broken it down into 3 relevant categories since these services are in line with what they offer. So I did vehicle wrapping service, then I did car detailing service, and then also window tinting services. So once you do create a lot of these primary categories or additional categories, you can add services in between each one of these. Try to be as descriptive as possible. Also do keyword research to try to incorporate a lot of the keywords people would be searching for that have high volume within your service. So what I did here is I've added vinyl car wraps. So within here, it's about 300 characters long that we have the max. You can add your specific pricing point as well too. So that way you have more, you give customers more insights, or also like the AI search. Since I know they're diving deeper into like pricing for businesses, but you can see here I've broken it down. So we have like car wraps in Jacksonville, Florida, which was one of like the targeted keywords that we have. Then we're targeting to have high volume, and then just a nice descriptive service description that makes sense and it's easy to understand for number one, a searcher's perspective, but number two, a algorithm search perspective. So again, if you don't have that specific keyword mentioned within your Google business profile, your website, how do you expect the search engine to understand and match that intent of the users searching for that? So again, I broke down every single subservice under the category that made sense for vehicle wrapping services, and then I also broke it down to car detailing services. So we have like auto detailing, ceramic coating, and then we have an additional category for window tinting, and then we added window tinting services within that. And the thing is as well too, like aside from creating these services within Google Business Profile, being extremely descriptive with that, we've also created landing pages for that. So like, let's say for like vinyl car wraps, anyone searching for vinyl car wraps, this page ranks extremely high. And the higher you rank within the traditional like SERP listings, the more signals you're also giving to your Google Business Profile, because your site ranks for that as well too. So going through the next one, we have business description, opening date, which doesn't matter as much, but it's pretty good to be descriptive on that, because how old is your business also plays a part. How old is your Google Business Profile? And then we have attributes. If you have any incentives or any like relevant attributes people might be looking for, that would be great to mention as well too. So within here we have the description here. So nice, sweet, simple, and pretty much describes exactly what you do. So I try to include a lot of these keywords within the description, but also give context into people looking for different businesses and understanding what you do. And then you do have the different type of amenities and stuff like that. So if we go to edit profile here, you can again add in your different social profiles, your website, and then exactly your hours, what do you pretty much offer, and then your accessibility. So we have wheelchair has accessible parking lot, has wheelchair accessible entrance, and then you can obviously add more to this as well too that makes sense and what you provide for your business. Now, one of the most important and crucial areas that heavily relies on that visibility within your Google Business Profile is having a complete name, address, and phone number. So that's what NAP stands for. So you want to pretty much create citations on directories. So think of Yelp, think of Yellow Pages in general, and trying to get your business listed there, where you have, again, the three core factors, which is the name, address, and phone number. And then a lot of these will link back to your site. But again, you're giving a lot more relevance to your location and the type of services that you offer, because Google is not only looking on basically on-page factors or Google Business Profile factors, they're looking at external factors as well too, because it's searching the whole web, and you're pretty much giving more authority, vote of confidence, and context from external services, helping you gain more visibility. So this is extremely important. You can also update your service area. So you can pretty much dive deep into where are you serving, or how close are you serving to. So again, you can pretty much get really descriptive. So if you want to just say you service all of Florida, or if you service, I added here nearby locations as well. So we have Gainesville, St. Augustine, Jacksonville. But you can also you can be really, really broad or really, really descriptive. So I like just specifically doing towns. But again, really adding your service area so you have more context within that. Making sure you have the most up-to-date business hours, especially if it's holidays, if you're closed for that as well. Special hours pretty much fall in line with that. And then making sure you have your website URL, because without this, you're not pretty much correlating that your Google Business Profile is pretty much as the same entity as your website. So again, what I did here is for my client, we have the website that leads here to the really, really great SEO optimized website I created for my client. And then at the bottom, aside from also incorporating pretty much the connection from your Google Business Profile to your website, from the website to the Google Business Profile, I also embedded a Google Maps embed. So that way it shows exactly and links back to the Google Business Profile and pretty much, again, has the entity correlation within that. So a good advice for this is add it to the footer. Make sure you have that NAP, which I added here. And then if you click on it, it links back to the Google Maps location. So we're driving a lot more signals. So the way you pretty much pull this is you would go to share, then you would pretty much the way you do this is go through Google Maps, search for your business, then you would have this share button here. So once you click share, you can have two options, which is send the link or embed a map. So again, Google gives you the exact code to pretty much find and copy to embed your map that's specific to your Google business profile. And you can see it's like linked back to your Google business profile. So you would just copy the HTML and then embed it, which would give a lot more signals to that. So next is just consistency. So you have, your logo, cover photo, exterior photos, interior photos. Just try to be really up to date in terms of updating the type of photos based on the services that you offer, any videos you've done, any 360 tours. So here as well for my client, we're consistently uploading different photos, different videos of our work. So that way people searching understand exactly what you do and showcases a lot more of your work and what you do. So that way you have more engagement, more people willing to come to your business and work with you in general. And then it's also giving signals to Google showcasing that, you're an active business, you're consistently uploading. So obviously Google is going to prioritize showcasing a business that's more active in comparison to one that's not really as active within the Google business profile. Then again, pretty much we covered a lot of this is the service areas in general, and then your review strategy. So make sure you pretty much reply to a lot of the reviews that you're getting. Make sure you ask a lot of your customers or clients to leave reviews, because this is an important factor in general. And same thing to get these reviews within Yelp as well, because Yelp is such an important platform for local businesses in general. The last thing I'm gonna go over is the Google post and updates. So just think of this as social media for a Google business profile, maybe uploading, I'd say twice or 3 times max a month. But if you want to be a little bit more consistent, recommendations 2 to 3 posts a week. So here's a pretty good example of some of the posts that we did here. So pretty much we're showcasing a lot of the work that we're doing as as a post, giving a description of exactly what we did. But again, try to be really up to date, showcase a lot of your work. So aside from uploading these images, you can just use those images, write a quick little description for a post, and then link back to your website in general. So that way you get more visibility for that. But yeah, this is a Google business profile checklist that you can follow that would increase a lot of your visibility for your business online. If you want an SEO strategy specifically tailored to your business with a little bit more advanced techniques to, hypercharge that visibility, there's a link in the description where you can book a discovery call and pretty much work with me to improve visibility within that as well too. And there's also a free SEO video audit below. So that way you can get pointers to your business as well. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and found value in it. If you did, leave a like. If you have any questions, leave it within the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.